Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's so great to have you here again. I hope you're all doing amazing today. If you're new to this channel, I'm really happy you clicked on this video, because trust me, you're about to take your English speaking skills to the next level. And if you've been with me for a while, welcome back, my friend. You already know what time it is. It's time to sound more natural, confident, and fluent when you speak English. Now, I know a lot of you have been studying English for years. You've memorized grammar rules, you've done tons of exercises, you've watched English movies, and maybe you've even tried thinking in English. But when it comes to real conversation, when you actually talk to a native speaker, you sometimes freeze up, right? Or you start thinking, wait, how do I say that naturally? You might know the words, but something still sounds a little off. Well, that's exactly why I made this video. Today, we're going to learn 125 English phrases that real people use in everyday conversation. These are not boring textbook phrases like, how do you do? Or, it is a pleasure to meet you. Nope, these are the real, natural, modern expressions that native speakers use all the time. Phrases like, that's awesome, no worries, or, you've got to be kidding me. When you use these phrases, you'll instantly sound more fluent and confident, because this is how English speakers really talk. Think about it like this. Speaking English naturally isn't just about knowing words, it's about knowing how people use them in real life. For example, imagine you want to say you agree with someone. You could say, I agree with you, and that's fine, grammatically correct. But most native speakers would say things like, exactly, you're right, or, totally. Those are short, natural, and sound way more fluent. So in this video, we're going to build that kind of natural flow in your English. I'll teach you phrases that you can start using right away in your daily life, when you meet new people, chat with friends, talk at work, or travel abroad. You'll see how small changes in the way you speak can make a big difference in how confident and natural you sound. And don't worry, it's not about memorizing all 125 phrases at once. That's too much for one day. Instead, I want you to focus on how these phrases are used and why they sound natural. I'll explain them with examples and tone, so you understand not just what they mean, but also when to use them. Because English isn't only about words, it's about rhythm, tone, and attitude. For example, when someone says, no worries, it's not just, don't worry. It's a friendly, relaxed way to say, it's okay, it's not a big deal. When you say, you've got to be kidding me, it's not about joking, it's a way to show surprise or disbelief. And that's what I want you to master, the feeling behind the words. Now, here's a little tip before we start. Try to listen and repeat the phrases out loud. Don't just read them or think them in your head, actually say them. Because when you speak them, your mouth, your tongue, your voice, they all start to get used to English sounds. That's how you build fluency. So even if you feel shy or unsure, just repeat after me. You'll see improvement faster than you think. And one more thing. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Everyone does. The more you practice speaking out loud, the better you'll get. Remember, fluency isn't about being perfect, it's about being comfortable. Native speakers make mistakes all the time too. The goal is to communicate naturally, not perfectly. So, whether you're learning English for school, for work, or just because you love it. Alright, let's jump right into it. Now that you know what this lesson is all about, let's start exploring some of the most useful and natural English phrases that people use every single day. These are phrases that make your English sound real, not robotic, not too formal, but friendly, confident, and conversational. When you listen to native speakers, you'll notice that they don't always use long, complicated sentences. Instead, they use short, powerful expressions that carry a lot of meaning. For example, instead of saying, "I understand what you're saying," most people will simply say, "Got it." Or, "Makes sense." It's faster, smoother, and feels much more natural. So in this section, I'm going to give you a taste of what these phrases sound like and how you can start using them right away in your daily conversations. I'll also explain when to use them and how to sound natural while saying them. Ready? Let's go. Let's start with one of the most common phrases, "No worries." You'll hear this one all the time, especially in countries like the US, the UK, or Australia. It simply means, "It's okay," or "Don't worry about it." You can use it when someone apologizes to you. For example, someone might say, "Sorry I'm late." You can smile and say, "No worries." It's friendly, casual, and natural. Now, here's another one you'll love. "That makes sense." When someone explains something to you and you understand it clearly, you can say, "Ah, that makes sense." It's another way of saying, "I understand," but it sounds much more natural. For example, A. "We couldn't go out because it was raining." B. "Oh, that makes sense." Simple, right? These are the kinds of phrases that native speakers use automatically, and soon, you will too. Let's move to another great one. "You've got to be kidding me." This phrase is used when you're surprised, shocked, or even amused by something. It can be positive or negative, depending on your tone. For example, A. "Did you know John won the lottery?" B. "You've got to be kidding me." Or, A. "They canceled the concert again." B. "You've got to be kidding me." See how it works in both good and bad situations. It's an expressive, emotional phrase that makes your speech come alive. Now, let's look at a few phrases for agreeing with someone. Instead of always saying, "I agree," you can say things like, "Exactly," "Totally," "You're right," "I couldn't agree more." These sound much more natural and conversational. For example, A. "Learning English is easier when you practice every day." B. "Exactly. That's so true." Notice how short and energetic these responses are. They help keep the conversation flowing naturally. Now, what about when you don't agree? You don't always have to say, "I disagree." That can sound too strong or formal. Instead, try these. "I'm not so sure about that." Maybe, but I think." "I see your point, but." These are polite, natural ways to express a different opinion without sounding rude. For example, A. "I think online learning is boring." B. Maybe, but I think it can be really convenient." You see, it sounds polite, open, and confident. Another common situation is when you want to sound friendly and encouraging. Here are some great phrases for that. "Good for you." "Nice job." "That's awesome." "Way to go." You can use these when someone tells you good news or something they're proud of. For example, A. "I finally passed my driving test." B. "That's awesome. Congratulations." These little phrases make your English sound warm and engaging, and they help you connect with people emotionally, not just with words. Now, Here's a very useful one for everyday life. I get it. It means, I understand, but it's more casual and friendly. For example, A. Sorry, I can't hang out tonight. I've got a ton of work. B. No problem, I get it. You can also say, I got you, or, I feel you, when you really relate to someone. Like, A. Work's been so stressful lately. B. Yeah, I feel you. It's been tough for me too. These are the kinds of expressions that make you sound natural and connected, like someone who truly lives in the language, not just studies it. As we move through this lesson, I want you to repeat these phrases aloud with me. Don't just listen, say them. The more you repeat them, the more your tongue and mouth will get used to English rhythm and tone. You'll start noticing how easy it becomes to respond quickly, without translating in your head. Remember, communication is not about perfection, it's about connection. When you use these natural phrases, people will enjoy talking with you because your English will sound smooth, expressive, and real. And in the next part, I'll show you how to combine all these expressions naturally in conversation, so you can sound like a fluent English speaker anytime, anywhere. So, are you ready to keep going? Let's move on to part 3 and bring all these phrases to life.